Hello, Beauty News family. Welcome back to a special episode of something.
Yes.
We are going to discuss the best and the worst releases of 2016.
We're calling them the Beauty News Awards.
Yay!
Yes. So this was actually a suggested thing. We didn't even come up with this at all.
No.
We had an channel update video and someone posted, I'll put the comment on the screen suggesting to do like a Beauty News Awards 2016. And I was like, that is a fucking good idea.
Yeah,
we would do that.
We can do that. So we are literally doing it like the next day.
The next day.
Yeah.
Exactly right. We're
right on top of it.
So good that we need to do it right now.
Yeah, right away. Right now.
So that's what we're doing. So these are awards that we've made up, and we have gone through photos and releases and have decided to pick a winner for each category. What we will probably do next year, because we'll probably have Beauty News Awards 2017.
We will.
Is put up little polls where people can actually vote and put in suggestions as well. So, yes, this award is just based on our thoughts, but next year it will probably be
a collective hive type deal.
Correct. Okay, so the first two categories that we're going to be covering is the best release of 2016 and also the worst release of 2016. Now, what do we think is the best release?
Definitely the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, and this wins for so many reasons. They didn't drag out the sneak peeks.
No, they literally...
It was like...
Days.
Hey, look at this thing that we made. And then it was like, buy it. Just buy it.
Yeah, it was literally one day, ooh, what's this?
Yeah.
Second
Swatches.
day, here's swatches. Third day,
Buy
it's
it.
already up. So they weren't beating around the bush, but essentially this has made it into so many beauty bloggers and beauty vloggers and... everyone's top products of 2016.
It's the best palette that was released this year for so many reasons.
Like, I'm wearing this on my eyes today, and I've decided to go for like some of the crazy colors, like the really raspberry red and the really dark orange and the, all that kind of stuff. And you can actually wear it in an everyday look. Yeah. And the quality is so good.
Oh my God. It's the best palette. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, so that sparked... Well, that was probably a catalyst for a lot of the warm palettes that has since come out.
Yep.
And there are so many that has come out with these kind of colours.
Yep.
But this was the first one. It came out of nowhere. And for some reason, it took things like pinks and reds and oranges. They look scary, but they're so usable.
Yep.
And unlike things like Too Faced that shove pinks down your throat...
but
you can actually use this.
The difference with the pinks in this palette and the pinks in a Too Faced palette is... these are clever pinks.
Yeah.
These are the types of pinks that give depth to a look.
Correct.
Rather than here's a
80s glam to a look.
Here's a candy pink that no one wants to wear with shitty pigmentation.
Correct.
So...
yeah, so we both think that was definitely the smartest release.
Yeah.
It was out of the blue, and I can't wait to see the second version, which is supposed to be a cooler tone one.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I never even cared too much about the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadows because the colours were always like yellow and purple and random. Yeah. But this has put them on my radar, and I think a lot of people... were blown away by Anastasia's eyeshadows this year. So, and then it also came out with the Mario palette, and that was crazy, great quality as well.
They just owned it this year.
They
really
own
did.
it. They smashed it out.
Yeah.
Okay, the worst release.
Too Faced mini chocolate chip palette. So we've got the matte chocolate chip palette and the white chocolate chip palette. These are the biggest, most fatal flop of 2016. Not only do they look like shit, but they performed like shit. I have not seen a single good review about these palettes.
Yeah. And unlike the Anastasia one that they decided to sneak peek at 3 days before it was actually released, the chocolate chip ones, they were being there was sneak peeks from back in maybe February.
Yes.
They took 10 months.
Yeah. They literally sneak peek those palettes at like the very first, like, here is your prototype palette, and they're like, quick, let's show the whole world. Yeah. So by the time they got here, people were either so fucking overseeing them that they were like, get away from me, you're like herpes. Yeah. Or they bought them because they were excited, and then they were so disappointed. Yeah. So disappointed.
And you can't even get your hands on both of them. If you don't live in the US where they ship Too Faced from their website, you actually can only access the white chocolate one, which just looks like a regurgitated, like, their natural eyes palette. Like, they've got a few just nude palettes in that 9-pan form, and they look exactly the same, but with just a different pan design. Like, it was just such a letdown.
It was so bad. Yeah. Oh, I feel embarrassed for them.
Yeah, so do I. Well, they're an embarrassing brand, so that's all right. Okay, now on to the best and worst collaboration. And 2016 was probably the year of the collaboration. Oh my God,
coming out the wazoo, guys. Yeah. Just like crazy.
Yeah, mental.
It was over the top. But our favourite release or our favourite collaboration of 2016 was Estee Lauder and Victoria Beckham.
Now, we didn't actually buy any of these, but it had such a, like... Everyone loved it, and the quality looked amazing. The packaging looked amazing. Yeah. And the one thing that I liked about this collaboration is normally brands kind of cheapen their product for a collaboration, but this actually elevated the brand.
They did, yes.
They elevated the brand from being Estee Lauder that's like decent quality, a bit like Grandma.
Overpriced, Nana.
Yeah, to being like Tom Ford.
Yeah. But not the Tom Ford price. So you're still paying kind of high-end price that is still fairly affordable for anyone who, you know, works a job and all that stuff. But the quality was just out of this world. Yeah, like raved about. Our runner-up for the best collab actually goes to Makeup Geek and Manny MUA. Mm-hmm. And that was mostly due to a beautiful colour selection, good quality products at an affordable price, and trust me, that thing was hard to get on release day. I was actually on holiday up at the peninsula, and I sat on my computer for about 4 hours trying to order one for Kat and myself.
Yeah, and we didn't end up getting it.
Didn't end up getting it. I was just like, I can't. I'm literally wasting my holiday as I sit here. So it was extremely sought after, but it kind of turns out that it's not so limited anymore.
It's still around and being like restocked. So it wasn't so much a limited edition, but it was very well received. It had a lot of people copying it, and giving it like an amazing reviews. So even though we haven't tried it, we're going to have to say that was done really well. It was done quite tasteful. It wasn't too in your face and obnoxious. And even if you don't love Manny, a lot of people wanted to buy it anyway. So
because the color selection was great. Yeah, correct. Packaging was very cute too. Definitely. That was just a nice little palette. Yeah. So for our worst collaborations of 2016.
And there were quite a few.
There was a lot. It was actually really hard to choose these, but we went with the two that really stuck in our heads. What were they, Kat?
The first one was the Ciate and Trend Mood palette that still hasn't been released, but it was the most painstaking, obnoxious release of the year. This could be, if we didn't pick this for this category, it would have been like just the worst release of the year. Yeah. Well, it hasn't even been released.
It hasn't even come out. So this will be in the awards next year as well.
Yeah, it is bad. So essentially it's a palette that Trend Mood is making with Ciate, but they made all of Trend Mood's followers on Instagram vote for every single detail of the palette, which not only made it really disjointed, but made the process so long. It's been going on for months, and it's just obnoxious. So, you know, they choose one design, like, what was it?
They chose fish scales for the inside of the palette.
Flowers for the outside.
With a rose gold finish and weird colour selections. And the funny thing about the colour selection is that it's been compared to a few other palettes that were released in 2016, and you can see where people were influenced by different colours throughout the voting process. Yeah. So essentially she's just going to end up with a palette with pans that are oddly shaped, kind of ugly external packaging, and colours that are generic and already done for 2016.
And that don't make a very wearable palette.
No.
And now I believe they're voting on the shade names.
They are.
The saga continues. But that is by far the most obnoxious collaboration.
Oh my god, it was so bad.
Yeah, it is bad.
Oh, let's buy one and smash it.
Yes! Let's buy
one and shit out of it.
And I'm not even going to weigh that shit. I'm just going to get a sledgehammer and smash it because that is crap.
Absolutely.
Okay, what's the runner-up?
The runner-up, and I'm pretty sure you will all agree with this, it is Too Faced and Nikki Tutorials.
Yeah,
this
that was a bad palette.
What was it called?
Power of Makeup.
Power of Makeup. Oh my god. I honestly think Nikki dug herself into a very deep grave with this palette as soon as she showed those doctored swatches in her video, because anyone who then purchased the palette expected, top of the line quality from those shadows, and it just didn't perform.
No,
it was just like,
and we swatched it in store, and it was
woeful.
It did not perform well at all.
I'm sure if I use like a wet brush and dug product out and mixed it up into a paste, I can definitely...
Which is exactly what she would have done.
I could definitely get that colour intensity, but you're not going to get that on a daily basis.
No. And what also I think annoyed me personally about this palette was that Nikki... Like, leading up to that point, I did watch a lot of her videos, and I have been a subscriber for years, and she's always about warm eyeshadows and bronzes and oranges, and I love this red, and it's so amazing. And you think she'd come out with something like the Modern Renaissance palette. No, it came out with silver, black, purple, teal, gold. And it's like, what is
that?
This doesn't sum up Nikki at all. Who does it sum up?
Too Faced.
So they literally just used her to sell the product and get more people interested, and it was really, really
obvious,
blatantly obvious. So that is a runner-up for the worst collaboration of the year.
2016.
Correct. Okay, the next two awards are quite amusing. So we've got one called Sneak Peek on Fleek, which is essentially... We came up with these names over a few coffees. But it's essentially the brand that did sneak peeking correctly.
Yep.
And then we have one called the Anti-Climax of the Year, which is the brand that just tried to sneak peek and just did it badly.
Yeah.
Who are the winners?
So the winner of Sneak Peek on Fleek is obviously Anastasia Beverly Hills.
Yes.
Because everything that they sneak peeked, they did in a very short span of time. They had great advertising, they promoted their products really well, and then they released them and people were able to buy them usually within the span of about a week.
It was very quick. And also what I liked about it was that they've actually released a lot of products this year, and they were very consistent with good advertising, a lot of stock so everyone can buy one. The one exception to this was the Mario palette, but it was actually Mario who accidentally sneak peeked it on Snapchat too early. So there was a lot of wind about that one early on, but that wasn't actually from Anastasia. It was from Mario.
The person they collaborated with.
So that was the one exception, but I think that they have smashed it out of the park this year with the way they got people interested in their products. And who is the Anti-Climax of the Year?
Who do you think? Too Faced, obviously. They just... Now, we all know that Jared sold Too Faced this year to Estee Lauder, and he just took major advantage of sneak peeking products super duper early, trying to keep people involved and entertained and engaged in the potential products that were coming out. But looking back over the year, and even at some of the products that we've talked about in Beauty News episodes much earlier in the year, some of those products haven't even come out yet.
I was quite surprised when we're looking through photos to come up with winners and all that kind of stuff for these awards. I was actually surprised that there were at least 3 or 4, maybe even more, products that were sneak peeked back in February, March, April that haven't even seen the light of day yet. So they are the worst at sneak peeking because
it's horrible.
They do it so early on. A good example is the Kat Von D collaboration, the A Better Together collaboration.
Yeah.
Like, that sneak peek was so early on.
Yeah.
And the problem with Too Faced as well, there's a lot of brands that do sneak peek for ages, but they are definitely the longest sneak peeking, and they also don't deliver. So a lot of people are like, what is in that choc chip palette?
Oh my God,
what is in
I
it?
can't wait. What is this dick vagina thing?
Yeah, what
and
was
then
that dick vagina?
we don't even know, guys. We don't know what the dick vagina thing is.
Yeah.
And we probably won't know until this time next year, because Too Faced is very, very, like, it's such a disappointment.
Yeah, it is indeed. So they win that award. So they win something.
Yeah, they win. So our next awards are the Overpriced Awards and the Best Value Awards. Now, who wins the Overpriced Award, Kat?
The Hourglass mascara that you have to buy, the wand and then the
primer,
the primer and then the actual mascara, and it comes to close to $300 Australian dollars. It was ridiculous, and I haven't even heard anyone say any good things about that.
I haven't seen any reviews on it. I feel like people are trying to keep quiet about it because it's not good. And even in their advertising before it was released, you could see the girl applying that mascara. I was like, girl, you've been layering that for 20 minutes. Yeah. Give the fuck up. It's like,
it is not good.
Stop trying to make it something it's not.
Yeah.
It's overpriced crap.
Yeah. And for the best value one, we actually had a hard time with this because there are a lot of products that are really good value. But one product that we both kind of came across this year and we were avoiding for a long time because of all the negative talk about the brand. We're going to give it to Morphe palettes. They're 35 palettes. If you order them from the right website, you can get them for about a $1 Australian per pan, which is crazy cheap.
That's crazy.
And I find the quality as good as something like, people are going to hate me for this, like Makeup Geek, that are more like $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 US dollars a pan. So you might not love the shade selections, but God, they are good value. So
I honestly think that the reason a lot of people hate Morphe is because social media influencers have pushed the brand, and it makes people distrust the brand and the social media influencer.
I agree completely.
And I think that's damaged the brand greatly. And to be perfectly honest, I think Morphe eyeshadows, they're not all amazing. There are some duds in the palettes, but for the most part, when you're looking at a palette that contains 35 different eyeshadows, you're onto a winner, especially when it's about $40.
Less than that. I think I got mine for 37 or 36. 80 or something. Yeah. Super cheap.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Best Advertising and Worst Advertising Awards. Who had the best advertising and what was the product?
Okay, I'm going to say that the best advertising was, and we're going to harp on about this brand numerous times, but the Anastasia Beverly Hills Moonchild Glow Kit. Because those images...
My goodness.
Were some of the best, like, looking images that came out of, all of 2016.
That was just a beautiful combination of interesting products, great makeup artist, fantastic photographer.
Yeah, and it just looked like pure art. If you printed those images and had them framed on a wall, it would look like art. It was so good.
Gorgeous.
But the worst...
Oh my God.
Do we have to talk about this?
I think we already know who it is.
Yes.
Obviously, it's Too Faced, Jared, and his fucking giant piece of shit peach.
Oh, that was bad.
What on earth?
That was bad.
What?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, cringe.
It was
all the way cringe.
He really did reduce his brand to something that was a joke and targeted at 3-year-old kids. It was embarrassing, insulting as a makeup purchaser, going, okay, I don't want to
associate with that. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's not good. But we do also have a runner-up, and this one is also by Too Faced.
Oh.
It is the ad with Candy Johnson in the bath as a mermaid for the Better Than Sex waterproof mascaras. That was also cringe. And the only way that made any sense was the fact that she had red hair and they thought, Ariel.
Mermaid.
Little mermaid. It was stupid. And that product is supposed to be quite bad.
Yeah.
So they really fucked that one up.
Yeah, they need to get rid of Jared.
They do.
So our next award is actually based on MAC products, and we want to talk about the best and the worst MAC releases of 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in our opinion, the best release of MAC this year, or last year, 2016, were the Lip Tensity lipsticks.
They were amazing.
They are just awesome. They are fantastic lipsticks. But when we look at the collections as a whole, what were the most popular?
The Selena one that didn't even come to Australia.
No, we didn't get it.
People were lining up for days to get that. So the Selena collection was huge. And then also the most recent one, which was the Mariah Carey collection, that also was sell out, huge. Yep. People loved it. Glittery packaging.
Very pretty packaging. Yeah.
What was the worst release?
The Mac Trolls collection. Hands down, it was the worst, most garish, ugly mistake of a release.
I agree.
Ever. Let's never speak of it again.
I did want that purple lipstick, but I refused to have that troll packaging. So Nope. Okay, the next awards we're giving to social influencers. So we've got the biggest sellout and the most humble. We want to clarify this a bit though. So there's so many social influencers out there.
So many.
So we kind of want to pick ones that are associated, of course, with beauty, but also that were associated with releases as well.
Yes.
Because it's about how people handle releases and how they push it on people and all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah. So the award for most humble goes straight to Graveyard Girl, hands down. Bunny was amazing when she released her Tarte Swamp Family palette.
Swamp Queen.
Swamp Queen, that's it. She didn't try and push it on anyone. She didn't try to doctor anything or make anything look like it was something that it wasn't. She just told people about her palette. She told the story behind her palette, and then she just let people go forth and purchase who were interested.
I think what was also very important was that it showed that she put a lot of effort and thought into every step of that palette. It was a reflection of her and her channel, and she had been trying the products for months and months and months and was very confident with what she put ahead, whereas the sellout...
Oh, Nikki tutorials.
Yeah, so I'm sure a lot of people would understand why. A lot of people think that the release with Too Faced was a complete money grab. It was just like, I'll put whatever... I'll just put my name on whatever just for the money.
Yeah.
Also, she's one of the biggest reasons why people doubt brands like Morphe and a bunch of other brands, because every one of her favourites, for a few months there, every one of her favourites was
coupon code,
affiliate link, blah, blah, blah. And it was really, really obvious that she was just trying to...
grab that money.
Yeah. So she's definitely... And there was a big backlash against her as well this year. Whereas, the year before, everyone was loving everything she was doing. Her videos were going viral, but then all of a sudden people were starting to turn on her this year, and I get it.
She pushed it too far.
She did indeed.
Our next awards are the best and worst at handling drama in 2016.
Yeah. And there was a lot of drama.
You know what? I reckon 2017 will be... just as much.
Even more drama. Yeah, I agree.
So, who wins the best at handling drama?
Okay, we're going to say Becca, because they did have that drama with the eyeshadow palette that they had the collaboration with Jaclyn Hill, that some were good, but the majority were shit because they formulated it overseas or had a whatever it was. But the thing about it that made Becca really, you had to respect them for what they did was they just pulled everything before it was even released.
Yeah.
And they just said, no, it's we're going to cut our losses. We're not even going to try to sell these because if it's getting bad reviews and people don't like them, we're not willing to sell them to the general public. So that was a really smart move. I do think that out of that, it showed that the person that handled it the worst was Jacqueline Hill.
Yeah.
She really did kind of, Becca did this and Becca did that and it wasn't me, not my fault. I didn't do that, and it was really very childish.
Yeah, she was a mess, whereas Becca was like, we made a mistake, doing everything we can to fix it.
Yeah.
And Jacqueline just like dragged their dirty, dead, battered body under another bus.
Yes.
And another bus and another bus.
I think that was showing that how someone can take the high road and how someone can take the low road.
The low road.
Okay, and for the people that dealt, or the brand that dealt with drama the worst...
I think we all know who this is.
Yeah, Jeffree Star.
Jeffree Star.
Yeah, anything bad happens and all of a sudden he's calling people horrible names on Twitter.
Cunt. Scum.
Yeah, what was the other one?
Cesspool.
He gets into comments and things that, like, competitors, he actually just bags them out on Instagram comments. Like, he just can't handle shit. So, he makes a bad situation
worse.
A woeful situation.
Yeah.
So he should just be... Someone should take away his phone and his internet access, because he's a crazy man.
He is.
Okay, now we have the Ugly Award and the Pretty Award. So these are essentially awards to products that are really fucking ugly and products that are really, really pretty. Now, I'm sure there's heaps more that are ugly and there's heaps more that are pretty, but just kind of scrolling through, these are the ones that piqued our interest. So, yeah, we want to talk about them.
First up, for our ugly products, we have mermaid brushes.
Yeah, these are fucking bad. Mind you, these are just concept at the moment.
Yeah.
But because...
The great thing about these is they showed some concept photos, got people to vote on them, showed more concept photos that were even uglier.
Yeah.
So, honey, it's going to get better. These are probably going to come out sometime in 2017, and we are most likely going to talk about these to lengths.
Yes.
They are the ugliest... I don't know.
They are the worst. They look like fishing tackle.
They do.
Mutated
fishing tackle.
Yeah. Then the runner-up for that award is the Violet Voss Ride or Die palette, because the packaging of that palette is like 100 ideas vomited onto one palette, and it just does not work. It is hideous, it is tacky, it is cheap looking.
It's bad.
It's not good.
It's bad. And it's literally 50 shades of orange and grey.
Yeah, it is not good. Okay, for the Pretty Awards, this one is probably... Okay, we're probably overlapping a little bit with the first couple of weeks of 2017, but you know, give us a break.
Yeah.
But the thing that, like, I don't know, piqued our attention the most, and it is only very recent, so this is where it's a bit of overlap. But what are they?
The Christian Louboutin new nail polishes.
Yes.
I know they have a special name. I don't know what it is.
And
they're minis, and they've got holographic, like, stabby bits, and oh my god, can't wait. Just these will be my first Louboutin purchases.
And I'm going to be buying one of these just as an ornament. That's how pretty they are.
That's how beautiful they are.
Yeah. And the runner-up is actually a MAC lipstick.
So they were the MAC Tender Talk lip balms, and these have beautiful, beautiful holographic packaging, and the product itself is actually really nice. They're nice lip balms.
I think this is an example of if you take a nice, good quality, sleek packaging and add some holographic to it, bam!
It's beautiful,
we love
everyone wants it.
Yeah, and this is one of those things as well that, like a lot of the things when it comes to packaging, it's just a matter of taste. I think this is so subtle and so beautiful that the majority of the people can get behind this one. So that's why we decided to name this one the runner-up, because it is cute. Can we name one other thing a runner-up?
Yes, go on.
Do you want to go get it? Okay, this just caught my attention out of the corner of my eye. We're also mentioning this as a runner-up for awesome packaging, because it is a perfume that looks like Windex. Which is the cutest thing ever. So that is another one.
Absolutely love it.
Once again, it's all a matter of taste, but
so cute.
Slays me.
Our next award is the biggest gimmick product of 2016, and this this goes straight to the silly sponge because that piece of shit is ridiculous and totally unnecessary. We do have a runner-up though.
We do, and it is the rainbow highlighting trend. So I think what the key thing with these are, they're like products that somehow got hype behind them. People started recreating them. People started doing knockoffs. Different brands started picking them up, and they are just not good.
No.
So the silly sponge, bad. Applies badly. The rainbow highlighter, bad. Like, unless you apply it like with a small brush and individually kind of paint on stripes, it just does not look good. It doesn't look good.
It's not functional.
No, definitely not. It's a fail.
So our next award is called the Keep Dreaming Award, and essentially we made this award just because of this brand.
Yeah.
It goes to Storybook Cosmetics, and essentially the award is given to them because they don't have products, they have dreams.
Yeah.
Wishes and dreams and hopes.
Yeah, and no product knowledge whatsoever.
No product knowledge, and a lot of their items require licensing from major big brands or big companies, and I don't think they realise that they're talking about potentially millions of dollars to get the licensing.
But not only that, like, what annoys me about the brand as well is they show, like, just concept drawings.
And sneak peek. They're like Two-Faced. Like, let's sneak peek all the things.
Yeah. They're not even in production. We don't even have a prototype.
No.
But we're going to sneak peek it anyway. And then they get upset that people steal their ideas. Well, you're putting out ideas out there on the internet.
Exactly.
Without anything backing it up. Like, it is the stupidest brand I've come across this year, and they really infuriate me with the lack of knowledge that they have about products, the desperate grab for attention that they have, and then, like, being confused when people steal their ideas and actually make knockoffs way before they even consider making the products. Like, what do you expect?
What do you want?
What do you expect?
If you don't want people to steal your ideas, don't tell them your ideas.
Yeah, exactly right.
Don't tell anyone your ideas.
Just like Anastasia, show it a week before it's going to be released.
Exactly.
That's the only way you can protect it.
Loose lips sink ships. Yeah. And sorry, Storybook Cosmetics, but you're drowning.
Yeah. And all they are is a brand of creative ideas.
Yeah.
The end.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they didn't live happily ever after.
No. I don't want to be part of that storybook.
No.
Now we're closing up with the number one worst behaving brand.
Jeffree
Star.
Yeah.
So we were going to say, with like YouTubers behaving badly and like brands behaving badly, the overall like person that made it in that the most was Jeffree Star.
Yeah.
Biggest jerk of the year.
Honestly, I feel like at least once a month there was something going on with Jeffree Star.
But I think he's also one of those people that people love to hate. And what I mean by that also is that, like, I know this is not the definition of that term, but people love him and love his products, or love his products and hate him, hate everything about him. It's just he's so polarizing.
Yeah.
There's not many people that are just neutral. They either love the products, hate him, hate everything about it, love everything about it.
Yeah.
Crazy fangirls. He's just, one of those people you love to hate, and he causes so much drama.
Yeah. At the end of the day, though, any publicity is good publicity, and...
Well, that must be his motto.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's go with the best brand of the year.
Anastasia Beverly Hills.
So the reason why we decided on Anastasia Beverly Hills was, I think with this year, it seemed like we looked at other brands, like we're looking at Urban Decay, and even though they have some good releases this year, it is nothing different to what they've done last year or the year before or the year before that. Yeah. Same as MAC, same as most big brands. The only brand that I thought was really expanding on their range and doing it very, very, very well was Anastasia Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
I think Anastasia was also like a front runner for trends.
Yes.
With the Moonchild palette that was way before anyone was bringing out pink, purple, green highlighters, and now everyone's doing it.
Yeah.
And I think also with the Modern Renaissance palette, they were just on the cutting edge of innovation
yes.
and trend setting, and they got there before anyone else did. So, and they did it well.
Yep.
That's another thing. There was very few releases they had this year, maybe bar one or two, that were actually bad. Most things knocked it out of the park.
Yep.
So, yeah, they definitely, in my opinion,
I would agree.
They're the brand to watch.
They are, and I'm excited to see what they'll do in 2017 because I feel like it can only get bigger and better for them.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, and for the number one worst brand of the year,
definitely got to give it to Too Faced. They just, they were like crap vomit all year. Yeah. Just like, look at our crap. Our crap is so crap. Like
they were relying on like 100% on hype.
Yeah.
And they delivered pretty much rubbish.
Yeah.
And I just think everything they did just turned to crap. It was underwhelming. It was boring.
I feel like their eyeshadow quality has gotten worse.
Yes, I agree.
I think the only thing they brought out that was actually good in 2016, the matte liquid lipsticks.
Yeah, they were great.
But everything else is just like, ugh.
Yeah, I agree.
This is so bad.
I agree.
It's literally like crappy drugstore quality with a high-end price tag.
And if they put in fragrance and had a cute cartoon to go with it, then people are willing to pay that money, which is beyond.
Very beyond.
Okay, so those are our Beauty News Awards for 2016. If you like this concept, definitely give it a thumbs up. We will definitely do this for 2017 as well.
Yes.
So do keep thinking about what products like that you love this year, what you're going to be hating this year, and throughout the year we'll probably keep polls.
Yes.
So yeah, by the end of the year we'll have like runner-ups and fan favourites and all that kind of good stuff. So it should be a fun annual tradition.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be great with the polls, seeing what everyone else thinks.
Definitely.
All right, guys, that's it for us today. Until the next video, where I think we'll probably be destroying something.
Probably.
Yeah. Until then. Bye.
We should have a best and worst influencer award.
Yeah.
Or biggest sellout, or... who would be the best, though? Us.
Yeah. Best social media awesome people award goes to Beauty News.
And for future reference, we're going to win that one every year.
Yeah. Don't even fucking try.
Don't try.